Hi all, welcome to the final whistle. It's match preview night again then, and this time it's the King Power return for Nigel Pearson. The ex-Foxes manager returns to the King Power Stadium this weekend with his Bristol City side. Of course, legend Andy King returns as well. Matty James returns to the King Power as well, and so does physio Dave Rennie. I'm going to be joined by Annie from Robin's Talk. He's going to be giving me an insight into Bristol City. It's time looking at the side, what Nigel Pearson has created. He's going to give me an opposition view. We're going to talk everything with Annie regarding Leicester City and Bristol City. We're going to talk about recent wins as well from midweek. Guys, as always, get involved. You know how it is. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the Final Whistle. Get down and subscribe. It helps out massively. Let's have a look who's in the chat this Friday evening then. So, Callum's in. How are you, mate? How are you this evening? I'm good. Come on, Leicester. Let's keep Enzo football going until the end of the season and hope to get back to the Premier League. Yeah. Hello, Kyle. How are you, mate? Where's Nigel Pearson doing? But we don't want him. Yeah. Fred, how are you, pal? Are you good? Gray, how are you, mate? Big Nigel is back. He should get a fantastic reception. Absolutely. Nigel Pearson is one of Leicester City's most successful managers. Obviously, 2 spells with the football club as well. And like I say, successful. Quite a lot of memories come to mind with Nigel Pearson. Times, like I say, winning trophies, the great escape, and obviously press conferences as well. But like I say, we're going to talk to Annie about Mr. Nigel Pearson in a minute. Legendary. Sean, how are you, mate? Evening, Jack. What a game this weekend, mate. It's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? We could call it the Nigel Pearson Derby if that's what you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Might as well call it that. Hi, Jack. 2-0 Foxes. Let's get my guest in. Annie from Robin's Talk. Annie, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm fine. Looking forward to the game this weekend.
Good. Annie, tell everyone where they can find you firstly, mate, before we kick on with the match preview.
So yeah, you can just find me there at AH Robin's Talk on YouTube, on Instagram. It's literally just Bristol City content before and after every game. I try to attend pretty much all the home matches. So yeah, matchday vlogs for that. And yeah, just generally Bristol City stuff, news and all that. And yeah, preview for this one is out if you want to check this one after the live stream, of course. So yeah, it's just Bristol City stuff. And on Twitter, it's just bantering Bristol Rovers and Cardiff fans, basically, for the most of it.
No, you can't be doing that, mate. Not joking, you can. Annie, let's get to know the opposition first. Bristol City, they are 7th in the table. They've played 7, won 3, drawn. Hold on. Yes, they have won 3, lost 1, drawn 3. Bristol City manager Nigel Pearson. Talk to me about your summer transfer window and how things went at Bristol City, bringing in new players. Talk to me about Alex Scott leaving and all that. Talk to me about Bristol City in general and how your thoughts are on Mr. Nigel Pearson.
It's a complete... It shifted a lot over the summer window and then into this season as well. At the start of the window, we signed some really, even before the window officially opened, we signed a few players and we'd already got deals over the line in positions where we needed to, and it looked really positive and it looked like we were really going to be ambitious this summer because we all knew that this season's going to be Nigel Pearson's last year on his contract. So we all thought, well, this is the season we're properly going to go for it and really try and get those playoff positions and really mount a proper challenge.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the intention. That was kind of the intent. But afterwards, it kind of slowed down. We signed Hayden Roberts from Brighton, and then the business, I think it was Hayden Roberts, the business kind of slowed down a little bit. And then the Alex Scott dilemma and saga kind of ramps up and heats up. And at one point, we were kind of led to believe that he might actually be more interested in staying, but he's come out and said that he always wanted to go to the Premier League. So, fair play. So yeah, he then goes for 25 million. And I don't think anyone really had a problem with Alex Scott going, because obviously he is a Premier League quality player. He is he should be playing in the Premier League at that age. He will only improve. But the problem was, after that, none of the money was reinvested. And after this kind of really good crest of the wave in terms of bringing players in, and then kind of a acceptance that Alex Scott was going to leave, normally what happens is a club sells a big player for loads of money. We reinvest that. Leicester did it. I want to use Coventry as an example. They sold Gyökeres and Harmer. They reinvested that money pretty heavily back into the squad. We didn't do that, and that was the frustration. We signed 5: Tegon Ekman, Roberts, Dickey. I think 4 or 5. I can't remember completely. 5 players in the summer. Middling-ish transfer window, wasn't great, which could have probably done with another centre back, maybe a striker, but it looks pretty good now. Hopefully injury free, which is not going to happen, but it should look a pretty good squad. Nigel Pearson, 2.5 years he's been here, which for a football manager in this day and age is mental. And he's provided stability, he's provided progression, which is undoubtable, and that's really, really important, because we were a club when he came in on the slide. We were 15th or something. We lost 6 in a row. We looked destined for like a proper relegation battle. The first full season he had, we all were like, if he stays up, this is a bloody brilliant job. We stayed up comfortably in the end, 17th. We scored the 5th most amount of goals in the Championship. So he's done a really good job. He's not only improved as a team, but he's also decreased the average age of the squad, massively reduced the wage bill, and he's brought in young players in the transfer window, but also from the academy. Alex Scott, for example, now in the first team at the moment, it's Tommy Conway and Sam Bell, Zach Viner as well. So there are players in there who are getting chances. Yeboah was the latest one, and he's done all of that, and also improved our league position. You can't argue with that. He's done a really, really good job. And for once, it seems like he's finally enjoying the role here, which is good to see. And also we obviously, with us playing Leicester, we all made parallels with that Leicester Championship winning side. A lot of people are saying there are a lot of parallels, and he's also saying that Nigel Pearson's also saying that the mentality's getting there. So you never know. We might be obviously not going to win the league, but definitely push, and that's the main thing with Pearson. Definitely push.
Yep. Talk to me about your season so far. I mean, you're 7th place in the Championship, 3 wins, 3 draws, 1 defeat. 7th in the Championship. Last game you played Plymouth Argyle at home and absolutely tore them a new one. 4 goals to 1 in midweek. How would you describe your season so far, and what was your initial thoughts on the midweek big thrashing of Plymouth?
Yeah, well, I was there against Plymouth, and we were ruthless. We were really good going forward. We scored 2 goals within 8 minutes. We should have been 3-0 up within 11. Sam Bell missed a 1-on-1. He should have tucked that away. If we won 3-0 up within 12 minutes, been game over then. But then we kind of let Plymouth back into it, and then we score a third from a good counter attack. And then after we kind of control the game in the second half. We just keep possession, just move the team around when we're 3-1 up, like you do, and then we score a fourth with a bit of quality. And then once that happens, we kind of get a little loose, and then we allow Plymouth back into the game a little bit, but they couldn't score, unfortunately for them. But yeah, just really, really good performance in the midweek and completely deserved the 3 points. But has to be mentioned, Plymouth played their second string team because of it being like a midweek 3-game week. So, and they did that a lot in League One last season as well. When they had a 3-game week, they just put their second team out. But that was in League One. This is the Championship. If you do that against top Championship quality, you will get battered and obliterated. They got battered. So maybe a bit of a one-off, but the confidence is there, and the performances have certainly been there. And even before that, we were really good at Hull and away at Swansea. Two pretty, especially Hull,
4
pretty
points.
difficult away. Yeah, 4 points, pretty difficult away game at Hull and Swansea. There's that little bit of needle there between Wales and England.
A little bit of rivalry in there.
Yeah, bit of a rivalry. Not a derby, but a bit of a rivalry. We in Bristol don't really like the other side of the bridge, but going there to a hostile-ish atmosphere always going to be tricky. But we got the job done and completely deserved it as well. I think we had 3 disallowed goals, which one of them was very contentious. So look, brilliant start. Only 1 defeat, and that I think that shows that we're not going to be an easy side. Even when we go away to Leicester, Southampton, Leeds, we're not going to get steamrolled. We're not going to get steamrolled because our defense is really good. We've got Zach Varner there, who's been magnificent for 12 months and the start of this season. The other guy, it has been either Dickey or Naismith, but Naismith in the last few games has been brilliant. A couple of really, really good, one-on-one. He's denied brilliant goal-scoring chances in a fair way, and has just been magnificent. And it's just been really positive. So even though I'm a little bit concerned by Leicester's kind of attacking quality, I also trust our defence quite a lot, and that trust has grown. And we have a system, we have a shape which works, and that for me is really, really important in nullifying any team, really. So yeah, it's a really good start of the season. We're a really hard to beat side, and even if we do go under at Leicester, it won't be a couple of years ago where we'd probably lose 3 or 4-0. It'll be very, very tight, and we'll probably stay in it for quite large periods of it.
Yeah, Annie, I'm going to ask you this question. I do ask quite a lot of the opposition fans. I mean, where do you think Bristol City are going to finish this season? What's your predictions for them?
I had us around 10th, which I thought would be a fairly good season, but I think I kind of overestimated the quality of the Championship a little bit. Obviously, I expected Leicester to be there, and I expected Leeds and Southampton to be there, and I expect Leeds and Leicester to be there. Whether Southampton are there or not is still will be interesting. But I expected Middlesbrough to be better. I expected to be fair, I didn't expect Ipswich and Preston to be this good, but I think drop-off will eventually come. But generally, some teams have been a bit meh, and some teams I thought would be pretty good. Hull have been pretty good so far, but I'd stick with around 10th, and I think that would be a pretty fair kind of assumption to make, and I think that'll be a good season. But where does that leave Nigel Pearson? I'm not overly sure, but I'd stick with 10th, maybe 9th, 8th, 11th at push, something like that. Little bit higher than that, but I think 10th is a fairly stable, reasonable season.
Do you think Nigel Pearson will stay at the end of the season then? Obviously, being a year left on his deal, you expected him to sign a new deal. Would you like him to?
Would I like him to? That's a very, very good question. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because I think that is completely determined by the success we have this season. If we finish top 10, and we're, properly showing signs of improvement and the foundations are definitely there, sign a new deal. Get him on a 2-year deal and, just attack the Championship. Just give him the funds, because we haven't spent an ounce of the Alex Scott money, so we haven't even we've barely touched it. So go and spend that money and then attack the Championship. If we finish 14th or 13th again and don't really show much signs of progression, and are a bit, inconsistent and not really at it, I expect Pearson to go. But apart from that, it's again, really, really, really weird one, because it's completely determined by the success we have this season. And also recently, our CEO, Phil Alexander, he left. He resigned. And does that kind of impact Pearson's future or not? Your guess is as good as mine. But it'll be very interesting to see how we get on the season, where we finish, and whether, what the owners and the board consider kind of success, and what warrants Nigel Pearson is gets another 1 or 2 year deal.
Yeah, he's got that Championship experience, and he's a character, Nigel Pearson. He's one of them managers who really like to do well. Like I say, Annie, let's get on to the Leicester game. Leicester v Bristol City. I'm going to put you on full screen for this. Give me your thoughts ahead of the game. Don't give me your score prediction and that yet, but give me your initial thoughts ahead of the Leicester clash.
No, I said this earlier, didn't I? I think Leicester are a really, really good side going forward, and your quality there is doubtable, and it's really, like, I'd argue it's Premier League quality, and it's mental, really. And not only the starting three, even the ones off the bench are just way too good for this division. Iheanacho, Vardy, Steffi Mavididi. It's just really, really good, isn't it? I think you rested players, didn't Leicester against Norwich? Made a few subs, made a few changes, and that's a bit of a brave call, because Norwich this season have been really good at home, especially haven't lost at home. 100% record at home as well. So that was a really brave call, and it paid off completely. And that shows not only how good Enzo Maresca is, but also the quality within the side. I'm worried a little bit, but as I mentioned, I also trust our defence. So hopefully, Nigel Pearson, with the tactician he is, sets us up in a way where we can nullify, Mavididi and whoever's up top, Vardy, Iheanacho, whatever it is. Hopefully we can nullify that, and hopefully we can limit the number of chances Leicester create. But in midfield, I am also looking at it going, well, Leicester have more quality than us. Dewsbury Hall, Ndidi. Was it Yunus Akgun who played in midfield against Norwich?
Yunus Akgun, yeah.
Yeah, so if he starts in midfield again, maybe we can, target him. But generally, I think we can cope in midfield, not in terms of technical quality, but I think the way we set up, in terms of just running, literally, we will. I don't want to come out as arrogant or say I'm delusional or whatnot. Feel free to call me whatever you want, but I think we will outrun you, because A, you'll have more of the possession than us. B, we are a high intensity, really high press side. We have covered so much ground this season. Even at 4-1 on Tuesday, we were running. Like, we just did not stop running. Jason Knight in midfield is literally a Duracell bunny. He will not stop running for 95 minutes. He's probably not the best in terms of technical quality. As I said, our midfield isn't, but they will not stop running. Matty James, a little bit more of a technician. He's really good. Joe Williams, he's that kind of, championship. He will get stuck in midfielder. And up top, Naki Wells, really good energy, really high pressing. And then we have Sam Bell off the left, who's got the pace. Sykes off the right, who's got the technician, and he's got the dribbling as well. So I think we can take the game to Leicester. I think we can definitely go out there and score. Whether we keep you out is another question, really.
Yeah, this one is a tough game. Of course it is. Nigel Pearson, he knows Leicester City very well. But like you say, when it comes to teams like the way they press high and all that, that's something that Leicester really enjoy. I think that's something that Leicester are going to get used to. Obviously, this is where you'll then make us pass the ball quicker. We like to keep the ball as long as possible, let's be honest. And, it's where we like to keep the ball and move it quicker when teams are pressing us and stuff like that. So that's something you're going to see from us tomorrow quite a bit. That we can, if you are going to bring a lot of players forward, then we are going to you on the counter-attack quite a bit and try and pick the pockets off. But yeah, like I say, Bristol City, they're playing some decent stuff. You can't overlook them by any stretch of the imagination. They are doing some really good stuff under Nigel Pearson. Pearson's stubbornness in teams is another thing, isn't it, Annie, when it comes to beating teams and that. He knows the league well, which is the main thing for him. And yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a big occasion. Nigel Pearson returning to the King Power for the first time in ages. It's been a long time. And like I say, you're going to be no pushovers. I mean, we did beat Norwich in the week 2 goals-0. They're one of them sides who like to defend from the front, and then second half, they like to come at us, and then we start to move the ball quicker, and then we start to break teams apart. And, Maresca's football is getting there. And like I say, I think the key players in this game, you're obviously going to look at your Mavropanos, your Jamie Vardy's, your Dewsbury Halls and that. Wilfred Ndidi, he's getting used to this new role. I think the defence is quite resilient at the minute with Vestergaard in there, Wout Fass. So yeah, we're doing all right. And like I say, we've got to keep the pressure on Preston, who are obviously top at the minute. So it's a game that we want to realistically go out and win. Let's have a look at some stats, Annie. Here's the first one. Head-to-head, 2nd versus 7th, 7 played. Wins 6-3, draws 0-3, one defeat each. Championship head-to-head, 10 played, sorry. 4 wins for each side, 2 draws. I mean, that's an interesting stat, isn't it, Annie? If you look at that one we've got in Leicester and Bristol City, it looks close to the championship stats. Last 5 against Bristol City, 0-0 in 2008 when we played you. You then went on to beat us 3-1. In 2009, 2011, we beat you 2-1. You then went and beat us as well. And then obviously the latest result, what was it? The 2-0 win for Leicester, 6th of October 2012. Last meeting we had at the King Power Stadium in the Championship. Yeah, an interesting start, that one. David Nugent was on scoring for the Foxes at that point. So yeah, he scored. I think Bristol City scored an own goal. Talk to me about foot in both camps. I mean, talk me through all of these players in the foot in both camps. I mean, Matty James, talk to me about him.
Well, Matty James has been really, really good for the time he's been here. I think his 3rd season now at City. Yeah, 3rd season. So, look, he's just a really, really just good technician. He's a proper ball winner, and he's just really, really good player, and he's going to be pivotal in this one as well because he's that kind of, as I mentioned, technician and that ball rotator in midfield, and he's going to be really vital to this one. Nigel Pearson, as I've mentioned, top Championship manager, really, really good player. Chris Wood, a bit of a weird one that, because I think the last time we played each other, he scored at Ashton Gate for Leicester.
He did.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he's in the Premier League now, so what can you say? Good player. I don't think he was that good for us. I can't particularly remember.
I think he was young when he came to you, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's fairly young. Andy King, I think he was signed the same summer Matty James was, and he's into his third year as well. So he's been a steady kind of midfield player. He's now moved into a player coach role under Pearson. So, that's his kind of natural progression, I suppose, after football at his age.
That Randy King.
He's just been really good, Andy King, for us. Bit slow because of his age and whatnot, but generally a fairly dependable player. He's played centre back a few times as well, so it's a bit of a versatile player. But now he's adopting, as I said, a much more coaching role and moving away from playing. So yeah, all of those people I've mentioned have been, fairly fine for us, and hopefully it's just progress in the process, and hopefully that kind of ignites into something a bit greater.
Yep. Let me have a look. So we got Matty James. Good player for Leicester, despite the injuries he suffered. I think he suffered a bad injury against Swansea at home, where it kind of like he wasn't the same player after that. Good player though, try hard. He really gave 100%. Neil Dans, real good midfielder for Leicester. Neil Dans, another one who did well for the football club in his time here. Signed under Spengler and Eriksson.
He came on loan to us, I think. Neil Dans.
Neil Dans
in 2012-ish, yeah. 2012-ish, yeah.
2012, there we go. Nigel Pearson, 2 spells at Leicester City Football Club as manager. His first spell, we won the League One title. We then got playoffs the following season, missing out against Cardiff in the semi-finals. He then went to Hull City, then came back to Leicester City, and his second spell again. Like I say, a very successful spell. He got playoffs again against Nigel Pearson, another top 6 finish. Then he ended up winning the championship in 13-14 season. He then got the Great Escape season when we came up in 14-15. I mean, it looked like we were down and out at that point, and then 8 games to go. We fight back, and people were expecting us to go down. They said Leicester has done his good going to the championship, but Nigel Pearson went out, none of that. And like I say, very successful. He laid the foundations for the title-winning season, in my opinion. He does deserve massive credit for it, Nigel Pearson. I know Ranieri was the manager at the time. I know there's big questions of would Nigel Pearson would have won the Premier League the following season. That's something you'll never know. Like I say, he did play the part in the title winning team. It was Nigel Pearson's team what won the Premier League winning title. It was just adding Kante to the fold. But like I say, a very successful manager.
It was a tweak, wasn't it? It was 4-3-3 under Nigel Pearson, and then it went to a 4-4-2 with Vardy and Mahrez and Kante and Drinkwater and whatnot. But yeah, he laid the foundations for that. And also, it was a bit more. I don't want to mock. I don't want to disrespect Pearson here, but it was a bit more fluid, wasn't it? In that 4-4-2, it was a little bit more football played. And we do play football at City under Pearson, but you can't help but imagine that if and when Nigel Pearson leaves City, and if we, you know, hire a manager that's a little bit more kind of possession based, kind of help me imagine that maybe we go on a similar kind of trajectory. Obviously, not going to win the league because you don't have that sort of quality, but you know, really challenge. But yeah, he definitely laid the foundations. I completely agree.
Chris Wood, decent striker at Leicester, did score goals. He did score one at Watford away where it smacked him in the face and went in. That was from Almuni's kick. The Burnley goal where he volleyed it into the corner, top corner, banged it in, and that was in the 13-14 season. An incredible goal by Chris Wood, a good debut against Huddersfield for Chris Wood. I remember fondly. Scored some good goals. Like I say, Chris Wood was a powerhouse, wasn't he? You know, that big man up front who you can rely on to hold the ball up in there. Him and David Nugent were all right for the Foxes up front together. Then we moved to the legend himself, Mr. Andy King. Leicester's academy as a young boy, League One title winner, scored some amazing goals for the football club, won the championship, won the Premier League. Won everything he had to offer at Leicester. Andy King, like we say, is the king of the king power. That guy is an absolute gent. He's a legend. I know him quite well. He's a very nice guy, and like I say, legend of the football club. The fans will give him a massive reception tomorrow, of course, with Nigel Pearson, Matty James, and of course, got Dave Rennie as well, the physio. Let's not leave Big Dave Rennie out. Let's not leave him out. I mean, he was a good physio at Leicester. I mean, I just feel when Dave Rennie left, everything started going downhill with regarding injuries and that. So, like I say, Dave Rennie's a good physio. He's one of the best out there, let's be honest.
Since Dave Rennie's come in, we've been able to adapt to a more high pressing system. As I mentioned, we've become a far more versatile and adaptable team, and we've really shown that we can press teams for 90 plus minutes and not really get cramped or not lose much fatigue. And we haven't, I don't think we've made a sub this season unless it was before an injury was made.
About 2:00 tomorrow.
Before it was an injury, we haven't really made a sub because of fatigue, and a lot of that has to go down to the good work of Dave Rennie and his staff, and Pearson. And I don't think Pearson brought him in because he worked with him previously. I think Pearson brought him in because he genuinely thought he'd be able to help him in terms of building a side that's functioning as well as we are at the moment, which is a really top, I'd say, high-end championship side, and a really fluid and high pressing, high energy side. And Dave Rennie and Pearson have worked together in order to create that. Yeah,
Pearson were a character at Leicester. Obviously, Ostrich Gate. If you've seen the Ostrich Gate video where he calls the reporter an ostrich, he's got form for that. I mean, he deals one where James McArthur at Crystal Palace ended up taking him out on the touchline and he grabs hold of him. I mean, Nigel Pearson was a character. There was a guy who a reporter was in the press conference with and they said to Nigel Pearson, "I think you need anger management classes." He said, "Is that right? Is it?" And like I say, Nigel Pearson was a character on and off the pitch. Let's be honest, he didn't take no shit from nobody. Let's be honest, Nigel Pearson is a very old school manager who, like I say, he's had success in his managing career. Like I say, fondly at Leicester, quite a lot of memories with Nigel Pearson. Met him quite a lot of times. Really down-to-earth bloke in real life. If you meet him, he's good to chat to and that. And like he says, football's full of stress. And when you go into games at full time and the media's there, it's just say it is. And I think that's something he did. And I think I don't know if he regretted anything he said after he said it. I don't know if he's gone out the press conference with him and thought, should I have said that? Or he's just thought, no, do you know what I mean? If they're going to ask stupid questions and they're going to get a stupid answer. And that was Nigel Pearson to a T. Andy, I'm going to ask you about another man I've left off the foot in both camps. I've got quite a bit of a list here. Danny Simpson.
Yeah, the sooner I get him out of my memory, the better. He was absolutely atrocious for us. He was really, really bad. He was on high wages. He was literally just brought in as a cover for who would it have been then? Jack Hunt that season. Two awful right backs, by the way, Jack Hunt and Danny Simpson. But still, he was brought in on a free transfer. He left Huddersfield. Was it Huddersfield? Yeah, Huddersfield. He left a couple of seasons ago. High wages, really poor. Barely got a kick. Barely got a game. I think Nigel Pearson very quickly realised that he was not very good, Danny Simpson, and within 8 months he terminated his contract, and that was it. Really, he was a really, really bad player for us, and I know he was a great player for Leicester in that title-winning season.
Won the league, yeah, great right back.
Yeah, but he was not very good for us, and maybe he's just probably lost his quality, and as soon as he left us, he started doing media stuff, which I think tells you all you need to know in terms of where he's kind of got his focus at. He's not going to play football anymore, I think. Yeah, look, it is what it is. It was kind of a stopgap, and it was kind of necessary because we just needed a right back, but it was the wrong option, and he was the wrong character and wrong player, definitely at the wrong time as well, because the football club was kind of in massive gross decline.
Yep. And here's one for you from Terry. How many Bristol City fans are we expected? Well, what's their allocation?
So I think the allocation's full. So the full away end at the King Power, we sold out within 24 hours. It didn't even go to general sale. It was very, very quickly snatched up and completely sold out. You will be expecting a very, very hostile away end, I expect, because we normally are away from home. We are a very, well supported fan base. If you saw the videos from Swansea, it was one going around which was quite viral, that you could hear Bristol City fans from like a few miles away. We are really well supported away from home, so that hopefully spurs City on at the King Power. And yeah, but it's a full away end.
Yep, there's your answer, done, Terry, mate. Annie, I'm going to ask you about team selection, mate. What's your team selection to play Leicester then? Are you sticking with the same team that played Plymouth, or do you think there'll be many changes?
Well, it's a bit of a weird one because despite the emotional kind of aspect to this game for Pearson, I'd have prioritised West Brom at home and Plymouth at home, because those are the games, rather than Leicester away, because those are the two games you'd look at and go, well, at least we need at least 4 points, and we've got 4 points from it. So not too bad. And we kept an unchanged side for both of it. And because it's a 3-game week and maybe fatigue kicking in a little bit, and we might be very wary of a few players who have been having previous kind of injury issues, we may be looking at changes, especially in that midfield area, because we've got that midfield do a lot of work. I think the main bone of contention and the main kind of room for change is definitely a right back, because the first 2 games were George Tanner, and George Tanner played against West Brom because the other right back, Taylor Gardner-Hickman, could not play against West Brom because he's on loan from West Brom. So George Tanner played against West Brom. He was really good, really solid. So that's why he got a start against Plymouth. So Taylor Gardner-Hickman came off the bench. Now, whether George Tanner starts against Leicester or not will be interesting, because he provides that kind of defensive security. Again, I'd go with George Tanner. Centre backs, I expect it to be Zach Viner and Cal Naismith again, because they've just been really solid, and I don't expect Rob Dickie to come in. And I think he's a good player, Dickie, but he's been suspect at times when he's come on. So maybe I'd stick with Naismith and Viner. Left back, Cam Pring. Midfield 3 of Knight, James, and probably Joe Williams.
Yeah.
I know people in the chat will say, "Oh well, what about Andy King?" You don't feel he's not going to get a start. No,
Is he a player?
no
Is he a
chance.
player coach now at you, look?
Yeah, but he is a player coach, but he will be in the matchday squad.
Has he featured this season?
Yeah, he came on against Plymouth, and he has come on
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
and he has featured in a few other games, so he will be. I expect him to kind of feature maybe 10 minutes on if we are kind of 1-0 up or something, or 1-1. He might be coming on and just trying to see the game out. So I expect it to be the same midfield. So Williams, Knight, and Matty James up top. I expect it to be Naki Wells playing as a forward and main striker. I expect it to be Sam Bell and Mark Sykes, and you'll be going. Most of the people in the chat will be going, "Who's that? Who are they?" They've been really, really good this season. They've provided most of our goals. Sam Bell and Mark Sykes have been ludicrously good, and one of them is from the academy, and one was picked up on a free from League One. So again, that just shows how good the recruitment's been under Nigel Pearson. So they've been really good, and they will be posing probably our biggest threats down those flanks, because we're okay playing down the middle, and we are okay at creating chances. We're not brilliant, but we're okay. We can do that, but not against Leicester, I don't think. So we will be, kind of targeting those wide areas and using pace and the trickery to get down those flanks. So that'll be my starting 11. And Max O'Leary in goal as well, who's been I think one of the highest save percentages in the league so far this season. So it's not bad. So yeah, that's the team I'd go for.
Leicester. I think Matt Emerson's going to start in goal, as I think he will. Then we'll have the back three of Vestergaard, Callum Doyle, and Wild Fass. I think he'll stick with that back three. What played on when was it? Wednesday night, did we? Yeah, Wednesday night we played, wasn't it? Ricardo, Harry Winks. Obviously, Harry Winks is on 4 bookings, so he's one away from a bloody ban. So I don't know if he gets a yellow card tomorrow. He needs to, watch it tomorrow, I think. I think Wilfred Ndidi, Kidder Dewsbury Hall, Steffi Mavididi, Casey McAtee, and I think he'll bring Jamie Vardy into the fold tomorrow. Obviously, Pearson knows Jamie Vardy well, so he'll know that Jamie Vardy will be up for this one. And I think that Vardy is one of them now, isn't he? He's he likes to go when you can set him up. I think that's how we've looked at him this season. It's about giving him the service in it, and can still bang in the goals. And I think he'll relish that task tomorrow against Bristol City for sure. I expect Jamie Vardy to be up front tomorrow. I think he'll change the Iheanacho on the bench tomorrow for me. What do you reckon then, Annie, regarding the score prediction? I mean, what do you actually reckon is going to happen? What's your head and what's your heart saying?
Well, my heart's saying we do a hull and we kind of let you have the ball, but not have the ball in many threatening areas. But for that to happen, we hopefully have a really good Max O'Leary performance, which can happen sometimes. So my heart's saying, 1-0, kind of smash and grab, and maybe we show our quality on the counter attack. I do think we'll score. Think we'll score, and I do think our attacking quality is there, and I also do think we've got the defensive resolve now under Pearson to kind of do a shutout and really just, even if it's a 1-1, just shut teams out. And I think we have that in our locker if we are to just shut games out. I do think we'll go there for a draw, and I do think we'll get it. So I'll go 1-1. I'll go Leicester 1, City 1. And I know that's a bit optimistic, and it's very optimistic actually, but I do think we'll probably get a draw.
You got to be optimistic. You got to back your own team, and you know what I'm saying. I think I'd say the same for Leicester City if we're playing Manchester City.
Yeah.
Like I say, yeah, it's going to be a tough task tomorrow. Bristol City, no pushovers. I mean, I do believe they're going to sit deep tomorrow. It's about Leicester having that resilience and that sort of mindset to get around that stumbling block. And like I say, we've got to get our chances and be clinical around the box tomorrow. We've got to take the game to Bristol City and be on the front foot for me. Like I say, we do have enough quality to win the game for sure. But I think Bristol City, you know, that they'll push us. They'll push us for sure. And I do think Bristol City are going to score. But I'm going to go 3-1 to Leicester tomorrow. I do keep saying Harry Winks is going to score a goal. Maybe I'll get it at some point. So I will go Harry Winks to score. I'm going to go Jamie Vardy to score. I'm going to go Casey McAteer to get another one as well. Dan's gone 3-1. Yeah, I think, like I say, it's the homecoming of Nigel Pearson. And like I say, we appreciate with Nigel Pearson coming back and that, we will give him the reception he deserves. And like I say, it's going to be one of them like Nigel Pearson, like we played against Neil Warnock, innit? It'll just feel they're going to be stubborn and you've got to find a way around that stubbornness. I'm expecting a very challenging game and hopefully it's an entertaining game from both sides.
To be honest, I think we've moved on from the kind of Nigel Pearson as his teams will be stubborn and resolute and really just sit in a low block. I don't think we are. I don't think we are that. I don't think we will sit in a low block and just allow Leicester to do whatever they want and just be hell bent on a 1-0 or just take a damage limitation. I don't think that will be the case at all. I think we will go for Leicester. And I do think we will take the game to Leicester. Because we have done that against every other team, so I don't see it being any different, really. So, yeah, we might. I might be completely wrong. We might go, Leicester, or no, there's a massive game. We're going to just sit in and play for the 0-0 and pray they don't have their shooting boots on. But I do think we'll go for it, and I do think we'll probably get a result. Again, that might be very optimistic, but I don't think we'll sit back, and I don't think that's a guarantee. If you see this Bristol City team sitting back, we're definitely out of character and definitely low on confidence, and we're not that at the moment. So yeah, I think we will go for it, and that the quality might do us, and that's very likely going to happen. But I think we will go for it.
I think also with Leicester, I mean, when Bristol City do start poking us tomorrow and pushing us and really getting at us, I mean, that's when we start moving the ball quickly. And it's about how Bristol City then go and adapt to how Leicester's playing with the ball and that. And if they can maintain that energy. 2-1 Leicester. Annie, before I let you go, mate, let everybody know what you do regarding Bristol City and where they can find you, pal.
Well, I just do match previews, match reviews. If I'm at home game, I'll do a match day vlog for that as well. You can find me at AH Talk on YouTube and on Twitter. Again, Twitter is just for literally just banter reasons. So if you want to, if you don't like Bristol Rovers or Cardiff, I love you, really, Cardiff fans. I just like the banter. And yeah, so yeah, just Bristol City stuff, news, match previews, match reviews, as I said, and just general Bristol City stuff.
Yeah, Annie, I'm gonna wish you all the best after tomorrow, pal, for the rest of the season. Cheers, mate.
All right, cheers, mate. Cheers.
That was Annie from Robin's Talk. Hope everyone enjoyed the show. Remember to hit the like button if you have. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel. Please get down and hit the subscribe button. It helps out massively. We're nearly at 2.2k now, so I think we're a few away. But like I say, if you can hit the like button, it helps out massively. Thank you to everybody who's come on, gave us all comments and all that, and really got involved tonight. Really appreciate it. What's coming up on the final whistle? So we've got the match review, on Sunday. We'll have the match day vlog out tomorrow. As Leicester take on Bristol City, the return of former manager Nigel Pearson, the return of Andy King, Matty James, and of course, Dave Rennie. But yeah, it should be a good game of football. If you see me, come and say hello. Come and give me your predictions before the game. And yeah, guys, go and check out the Championship predictions week 8 as we went through all the predictions. I was joined by Football Martin. So yeah, go and check all that out. And that is it from me. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now, and keep it at the final whistle. Hi all, thank you for watching the final whistle. If you enjoy all our content, please remember to smash a like, share, and subscribe to the channel.